Hello, this is Jen of Paper This and That. I'm here today with something totally different. Not only am I a crafter, but I'm also a tarot reader. And I'm just going to kind of give an overview of what my modified reading is. I got this from Beyond the Celtic Cross. It's more than just a Celtic Cross spread. I go much deeper because with my recent studies I found ways to enhance my readings even more. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. I'm not going to go into great depth. This is just an example reading with a pretend questioner. And I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck. Now what I would first do is lay out the cards. The first one is the questioner. And it is actually the Emperor in reverse. And then what crosses them kind of helps, could be a hindrance, could be a helper, comes up as the King of Swords. And what is beneath the foundation is a Page of Wands, also in reverse. What is behind? Don't let this card scare you. It's a Devil card. But the Devil's also in reverse. And what is crowning? This could be potential or goals. This is the Hermit. Near future comes up as the Five of Wands. I'll kind of move these over. I want to make sure I stay in frame. This is how the questioner sees the situation. It comes up as the Two of Swords reversed. The environment, how everybody sees the situation or the kind of support that might be around the questioner, comes up as the Knight of Cups. Hopes and fears is also, sometimes I use it as an advice card. It is actually the Four of Wands, but the Four of Wands is reversed. Final outcome card comes up as the Five of Swords, also reversed. Now in this reading there are a lot of reversed cards, and the way that I see that is, I don't see reversed cards as so much as opposite, but more or less maybe a weakened effect or an energy that's not fully developed yet. It could also be a block, okay? And I would start with reading the center, and I would see this as a power struggle in a relationship. A relationship can mean business. It could be between parent and child. It could be romantic, but there's definitely a power struggle in this. Okay, the Emperor would be, it could be male or female. I think that they're almost like the Emperor likes to be in control. The Emperor is somebody of authority. But so is the King of Swords, somebody of authority. And it's like the Emperor is being in submission, submitting themselves to the King of Swords, giving in. The basis of it all, Page of Wands. The Page of Wands would be about, and being that it's in the past, or the root of it, it's like the firecracker within. The fire that burns within is dim. They're not full, this person is not fully expressing themselves. They want to talk, they want to express themselves. They want to tell that King of Swords how they feel, but they've held back. And in the recent past, what is passing, it may even still be in effect, the devil in reverse. The devil is about bondage. It's about being tied. And the feeling I get from that is that the hold that the King of Swords has on this person is weakening, because the Emperor is a person of power too. I think they started out as page, and I would almost, I would almost imagine the imaginative questioner as being the child of the King of Swords, because they started out as a child, not fully expressing themselves, not telling their father how they really felt. And as they got older, they've always felt this heavy burden. They have felt like there's no winning. It's a very submissive, still another submissive card, but it's in reverse. It's weakening. And as it go into the near future, there's a competitive, there's some struggles, there's almost, I want to say almost like an argument coming up. It's like this child is going to stand up to their father and finally voice how they feel. And this comes after much reflection. They did a lot of soul searching and realized that they don't need to be treated by their father like they have been. That they are feeling like they did some soul searching and really plotted out their next move and came to the conclusion that they had to speak their mind and tell their father how they felt. Okay? And that's where there is going to be a bit of a struggle. There's that power struggle is going into the future, because the King of Swords is still going to want to be in control. And where the questioner sees himself now would be the Two of Swords, but reversed. The Two of Swords signifies a stalemate. They're blindfolded. They don't want to see. They did not want to see the situation where it was. But being in reverse, it's weakened. It is, maybe they're starting to open up their eyes a little bit and open up a little bit. That again, this is a closed off person. It goes back to the Page of Wands reversed, being closed off. And they're finally speaking their mind. This is very powerful. In all honesty, I can almost relate to this reading for myself, because I've had some recent dealings with my own father. And the environment is very loving. And it's like somebody in the environment coming with a peace offering. Many people see in certain types of readings, a romantic reading, this would be an invitation. Okay? This would be the knight in shining, the romantic knight in shining armor who's trying to hand his girl his heart. But in a situation like this is more like the father coming down a couple notches, making a peace offering. Okay, and it finally evening itself out. And hopes and fears. This is the Four of Wands reversed. The Four of Wands is usually a celebration and such, and I'm just seeing this as a weekend effect to get this turned upright, okay, to make it a stable relationship, a firm foundation. It means the questioner has to give a little bit too. They speak their mind, but it's going to be a give-give situation, both parties compromising. And this is just in the beginning stages. This very early stages, and has a chance to be a very strong foundation. The foundation's just starting. And final outcome being Five of Swords reversed. Okay, upright. It's about defeat, somebody winning. The winner has a smug look on his face. Maybe winning by unfair means. Some little underhandedness, a little bit of deception. In the reverse, that's all the deception. It's like there is no winner in the whole situation. Both sides win. There's not just one. That is the first stage of the reading. Now, how I do the next part is I line them up as to how they were dealt. Just like this. And just so that I don't get too far out of frame, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple rows. Normally this would be all one long. Whoops, these two got reversed. Okay, all one long string. Okay, now in my Etsy listing that I have, I mentioned that I do card counting, and I look at the elements and how everything relates to itself, and then I do card pairing. And this is where my readings could go into an hour or so. And being that this is the card that represented the questioner, okay, look at both sides of it. This would normally be at the end and considered on this side, because if it goes into a loop, okay, I would look at this. The Emperor is a fire card, okay, surrounded by two air cards. King of Swords was supposed to be reversed, sorry. No, he wasn't. Air and fire are friendly elements. So, that is a very powerful combination that they both strengthen. The two, this is the principle, these two are the modifiers. The fire card is strengthened by both of these because they are friendly. And it's like feeding fuel to the, adding fuel to the fire, or feeding the fire. They feed each other. Fire feeds the air. And I will look at it as coming to an agreement. Again, giving up any kind of letting your guard down. Okay, nobody's winning in the situation, kind of letting their guard down. And then we count 1 second. Okay, the Emperor is also represented by Aries. So it's actually a zodiac sign. So I have to count 12. Starting with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the King of Swords is the center. And on either side, we have 2 fire. Okay, as I said before, fire and earth, or fire and air, are friends. They are compatible. It's kind of funny that the questioner was the original, and now the principal is the father. Again, this comes back to the nature of the relationship, where the power struggle between the two, and the Emperor being subdued, holding back, and the King of Swords being the king, being the ruler, and both of that just kind of supports that whole idea. Okay? And then again, counting from the king. The king is actually facing straight ahead, so I'm going to keep on moving right. Okay. And the king would be worth 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fall again on another major arcana. That's another thing about this. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards in this spread. It means some of the circumstances are beyond the questioner's control. But the Hermit. The Hermit is an earth card. The Devil's on one side. The Devil is also earth. And on the other side would be the Five of Wands, which is fire. Fire and earth are also friendly. This Hermit card is strengthened very much because there's another earth card on beside it. Okay? And again, this reiterates, there's the oppression. There's the Hermit looking at that oppression and thinking about it and contemplating it, almost like a depression here. And then going into, on the other side, the modifier. The Hermit knows by speaking up that there is going to be some struggles. There could be an argument, or it could just be some tension. But the Hermit finally speaks their mind. Okay? And it's just kind of a release of that oppression. I finally feel relief from it. And going from the Hermit, again, another zodiac sign. It's associated with Virgo. And count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We land on the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is, one side is air, because Eight of Wands, again, we said was fire. Two of Swords are air. Hermit is earth. Okay? And air and earth are actually considered enemies. They weaken each other. Okay? So, these two have they kind of cancel each other out, they weaken each other. Their effects are not felt because we're at this point right now. The primary concerns is the struggle that was continuing on for a little bit longer, okay, because of the coming out, the taking off the blindfold, the finally opening up after a long period of solitude, a long period of contemplation, a long period of soul searching. And then we count 5 from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we come to the 5 of Swords in reverse. On one side you have the Emperor, which is, again, we had said before, the Emperor was fire. And we have fire on this side. And air. Fire and air are friendly. Now, with that said, these 2 fire cards give strength to that air card. And it is about, again, putting down the swords, stopping the fighting, nobody really winning, both sides winning, the Emperor finally coming, starting to turn upright and feeling more empowered in the foundations of their childhood, of their home life, growing up. And then we count 5 from the 5 of Swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We fall on the Devil card, which was the oppression. The Devil is earth. Hermit is the earth card. And then we have fire. Fire and earth are friendly, but it makes this very strong here because, again, the ending of the oppression. Okay, breaking those bonds, breaking those ties that bind, feeling a sense of freedom. Okay. And the Devil card is another zodiac sign. Okay, and it's actually also with Capricorn. And we count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we've already hit the Hermit. When you hit the same card, then that's when the counting stops. Another note I'd like to make is I could have went into the other direction when I hit the King of Swords, but my intuition told me to keep on going to the right. Okay, so how I would sum this up would be a situation that from childhood on up into the early adulthood, that the questioner just felt inferior to their father. I also get the sense of like they couldn't measure up. Okay, they had the potential to do it, but they kept falling on their face, and it took a long time. It took almost a lifetime. But coming into middle adulthood, that a situation arose that it took a lot of debating, it was just a matter of what did the questioner want. The questioner wanted a relationship with their father. The questioner wanted not to feel so oppressed, not to feel so inferior. They didn't want to be ruled over by their father. So they finally came out of their shell and spoke their mind, and it's causing a little bit of conflict. But over time, it's still playing out. I would say I would give a time frame here of 7 months, something like that, to go to the next stage, at which point I would read for that questioner again and seeing how things developed and seeing where their relationship with their father is going now. But over the next few months, it is just a matter of the foundation is being built. It's not sturdy yet, it's not strong yet, there's still a lot of work ahead. So, with that said, this is how I conduct my paid reading. And I didn't go into as much detail as I would with a real life reading, okay? But this, you get the gist of what my tarot reading is about. I have other readings. I could do just the Celtic Cross. I could do a simple 3-card reading. I have various types of readings that I do. But this is one that's very in-depth. And then I have another one that I'm working on that is originated also from the Golden Dawn, called Opening of the Key. That reading is a specialized reading that would be done in probably 4 or 5 part video, and that one is a good 2-3 hour reading. It goes into even greater depth than this one does. And I think what I'm going to do from here is do an offering. Okay? I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit, put my ugly face in it, hopefully. Okay? Now, here is my offering. Leave a comment on this video, and I'm going to choose one person that I'm doing a complimentary reading for. Probably the Celtic Cross, and I'll do the linear layout like I just did, and I'll post the video. So if you want to be a winner, if you want to enter the contest, just leave a comment below. Thank you and have a good day.